Hello, I'm Carolyn Greenleaf, and this is Waking Up, conscious discussions about our changing reality. And today I am so excited to have as a guest Dr. Amanda Thiry. She is CEO of Allergy Relief Center, and she's a holistic practitioner there. She does wonderful, wonderful work. And, I met Amanda a couple of years ago, at least, when I was putting together this holistic health expo. And that's how we connected. And then just recently we reconnected again, and we were discussing, the issues around the pandemic that was happening. So we were looking for some holistic solutions, and we came up with some great things. But that's going to be for another show. Okay, so that's a teaser. But Amanda has a really great story, and I think it's a wonderful story to share. So I'm going to ask you, Amanda, to just tell us, why did you move into this field? I know that you started from a traditional background, just exactly. As most people do. And
Yeah.
So what made you change? What made you shift into this holistic, background and education?
Yeah, so I started out as a school nurse in an elementary school, and it was in an underprivileged area. I had a lot of students that had just allergies, asthma, food allergies, ADD, ADHD. And I just started thinking I was getting very frustrated, giving them medications every day and kind of pushing that on them. I wasn't seeing them really getting better. It was just kind of this snowball. And I thought, 50 years ago, kids just didn't have these types of ailments. And so I started to look for a more natural approach to healthcare. And I decided to go back to school and become a chiropractor. And it just so happened I worked after chiropractic school as a traditional chiropractor for a while, and then ended up finding a practice that actually focused in holistic allergy treatment. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is what I have been looking for. So I jumped 2 feet in and haven't looked back. And the results that I see with all of my patients is just truly astounding. They're changing their lives.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So what types of treatments do you do? Because you've kind of moved away from traditional chiropractic, right?
Correct, yes. So we just have a system that delivers digital frequencies to the body, and the body uses its energy to portray whether or not the frequency that we're sending is an issue for that person. Everything has its own frequency that it vibrates at in the universe, and through our system, we've figured out how to mimic those frequencies, and it's just like exposing the person to that substance, only it's a mimicry of it. Mm-hmm. We use the body's energy doing muscle testing, and from there we just use a massage technique that kind of turns down the sympathetic nervous system, because the sympathetic nervous system has kind of gone into overdrive in reacting to whatever substance we're treating for.
Okay. And for those of you who don't understand, a holistic view towards wellness, the difference between holistic and traditional is that traditional medicine tends to focus on just the symptoms. And,
Correct.
putting, this remedy matches this symptom, this, and what they're trained to do. However, holistic medicine tends to look at the whole picture. So, so from a spiritual point of view, everything is about energy. We are all energy. And so we have our we have several energy fields that make up who we are as well. So we are our physical body, our etheric body, emotional, mental, and spiritual body. So
Yeah.
in holistic anything, whether it is counseling, coaching, or medicine and therapies, it is about understanding that one is connected to the other, that there are pieces. It's like a puzzle, and one aspect within, it could be the emotional field, is going to affect the physical body. And so our beliefs as well, our beliefs will drive what our body believes is right or wrong with us.
That's exactly right. And our system actually does have a portion to it when we do go through the treatment. It will actually look to see if there is any emotions attached to any type of sensitivity. So, you look at so many people have sensitivities to their pets. Well, think about when you're stressed out, when you're upset, or when you're happy. Those pets are there with you and sharing those experiences. And so I do believe that's why a lot of people develop sensitivities to their pets. And so when we're treating your sensitivity, your cats or your dogs, we always look, is there some sort of emotional connection to that? Because if we don't look for that and treat that as well, that sensitivity is going to be stubborn and it's not going to be able to fully release itself from the body.
I'm also an energetic healer. And so in that field, we understand, like when we are working with an animal, many times the issues that the animal has within their physical body is actually the symptoms of their owner. Okay. so
That's pretty
so
interesting.
yeah, so I began this, in this holistic field with the intention of helping animals through energetic healing and et cetera, et cetera. But I found out that, oh, wait a minute. The animals are usually really good at healing them, allowing their own body to heal themselves, because they don't have the ego and emotions and beliefs that humans have.
Yeah.
So they're usually pretty good. It's the owners all of a sudden I have to focus my attention on. So
Yeah.
then my practice started to make that shift into the root of the problem that most animals have actually is linked to a family member, one
Wow,
of the
that's pretty
owners.
fascinating.
Yeah, so it really is, again, it's, when we talk about holistic, um, everything is connected.
It absolutely is.
Everything is connected. And the first show that I did with this podcast was trying to explain the framework, where are we moving into? And the reasons for these conscious discussions is because we are moving into a fifth dimensional type of reality. Now, those of us in the spiritual field or the holistic field, we've always been working with these types of understandings and energies and wisdoms, because we connect to those, because we look deeper, we seek deeper, beyond what traditional medicine or traditional any education gives us. Okay, so
Right. We tend to incorporate the full lifestyle and everything surrounding that person instead of just, hey, this is the ailment they're experiencing. Let's give a medication for that. We look at the whole person and try to decipher, okay, where can we make changes in their lifestyle or whatever it might be to help them heal fully.
Mhm. Yes, yes. And would you agree that the body is designed to heal itself?
Absolutely is designed to heal itself. If we give it the proper nutrients and the proper energy, we can heal ourselves from anything.
Yes. And I believe getting out of our own way too.
Absolutely, for sure. We do like to get in the way of our healing and many other things in our lives.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That is very, very true. Very true. It really is hysterical. when I am healing an aspect of myself, I like to look at it from the perspective of my soul, especially when I get it. I'm like, I figured out that puzzle there, and I just look at it and say, oh my gosh, duh.
I absolutely, and you know what? Children are also amazing for learning to heal yourself. And sometimes, my daughter will say something, and I'm just amazed. I'm like, how did you even gather that at your young age? And it almost turns a light bulb on in my head, and I'm like, how did I never see this before?
Yes.
It's just,
Yes.
you have to be open to your surroundings and the energy and what the world has to teach you.
Right. And also that wisdom within.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do believe that the answers are within ourselves. We are born with those instincts, that connection to that higher knowledge and wisdom. And actually, I remember when I was young, and I burnt my finger, my hand. I think it was in my fingers. I was pretty young, and I just because I was always remained very connected to my inner world, and so I just instinctively I knew, think cool thoughts, coolness is where that burn is. It's all cool. It's just, and I just kept focusing on, imagining it just being cool, not hot. It's cool, and it's nothing, and it's healed. It's cool. And after a few moments of that, I looked, and there was no blister. There was no nothing.
Yeah.
And
energy. You used the energy to send that message of healing.
Yes. And I shift the beliefs.
Yeah.
Because we believe in certain, we're taught certain, ailments, and then our body says, okay, I guess we got that. I guess that's going to happen if you burn yourself, or I guess it's going to happen if, you fall down or whatever. It's funny. I also had another instance when I was at the park with my dog. This is several years ago when she was a puppy.
Okay.
And we ran into someone else who had a puppy, and they were just having a ball. And we were along the water, and it was rocky. And this dog, I think her name is Kira, beautiful, but she was a golden retriever, so she really wasn't. Her intelligence hadn't caught up with her, with her yet.
Size.
Yes, but my dog was. She was a border collie Labrador mix, very intelligent, and she was very strategic. So they were chasing one another, and I told the owner of the other dog. I said, just stand still, because my dog, she's already mapped this out, and she will zigzag around us. If we move, it'll mess her up. So we stood there. She did that, but his dog went right into me.
Oh,
and
no.
I was airborne. I was airborne. I fell on the rocks, and I couldn't help but just bust out laughing. Because it surprised me so much, and I knew that there was a message in there was a, when something like that odd happens, there's a message there that my guides are trying to give me. And so I was laughing, and the owner was just horrified. He's, oh my God, do I need to get you a doctor? Are you kidding? And I just, other people, because I land on my hip, anyone else probably would have had a broken hip, but because I was in the high frequency of laughter and just I was connecting to what was that about? I thought, oh my gosh, it didn't affect me. It didn't.
I could totally see that for sure. It just sent that positive energy through the body and just released that negative impact.
Right. And also I shifted into a higher frequency. Let's call it the fifth dimensional frequency. All right. Third dimensional frequency is where we are ingrained in the beliefs that the body is fragile. That oh my God, and that's more fear-based belief. Okay, so I believe that in holistic medicine, all of this is all connected, of course, as we mentioned before. So, yeah. So Amanda, do you have some tips that you want to, that you'd like to share with people about, I don't know, just kind of their overall, how about during this time, there's a lot of anxiety because there's a lot of changes happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, from, what would you, in your practice, what would you recommend, or, some tips around those anxieties?
Well, I think the biggest thing is choosing to incorporate having fun and laughter and love in your life and every day. Over this past over a year, um, people have filled so much with fear.
Mhm.
They've separated themselves from others, and they've really pulled that human interaction out of their lives. And, there's so much to be said about having human physical touch for positive high vibrations and healing, and, just hugging somebody or holding a hand or touching somebody's shoulder. I think that's really big, is, really make sure you're having human contact. Getting out there and having your exercise, going for walks or bike rides or whatever it is that you enjoy to do. Definitely getting the sunshine. You need that vitamin D to help the body stay healthy, giving it those supplies it needs to do the healing that it's built for. And obviously having a good diet and eating right, drinking a lot of water, things like that. I think those are the
Okay.
best things to do right now.
Okay. Are you seeing a lot at your clinic? A lot of people with anxiety problems and issues that are connected to the anxiety, or
Yeah, I guess I am seeing people with anxiety. I think they're so bogged down with the anxiety that they don't even really know that they're experiencing it. And I do have others that definitely feel they are experiencing it, and they're worried that they're, maybe their parents, and they're passing that stress or anxiety onto their children. So it is really good if you can pull yourself into a higher vibration for those around you, and then that's going to pull them up, and then it'll create a better, higher vibration at home or in the workplace or wherever you're spending your time.
okay, wonderful. Let me see. Mm, I don't know. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
One of the things that I talk to my patients a lot about is, we develop sensitivities during times of stress.
Okay.
So the body almost goes into fight and flight mode, and it looks into the surroundings to find something to blame that stress on, because it doesn't know how to explain the physical injury or the illness or the stress of, losing a job or a loved one or whatever it might be. So it looks to the surroundings to blame something,
Mhm.
and then it almost creates a symptom as a warning sign to say, hey, warning, warning, that apple is here again, and last time it caused a lot of stress. And so it creates a symptom around that apple. And so I think, definitely trying to cut down on the stress in life and having a positive outlook is really going to help to decrease those symptoms that you experience and those sensitivities that are decreasing the quality of your everyday life. So, stress really does have more of an impact on us than most people recognize. So definitely figuring out ways, whether it be meditating or exercising or just having fun with family and friends to, decrease the stress in your life.
Okay. Okay. Now, someone coming to your clinic with, some of these sensitivities or allergies, and whatnot, what would the process be when someone comes to see you?
Yeah, so we typically have in our system, we have over 400,000 different substances we can test and treat for. anything from barometric pressure to moon cycles, to hundreds of different food items, personal care items like deodorant, soap, shampoo, sunscreens. We can do contactants like, fabrics and chemicals. The list is pretty endless. We can also do all of the pollens outside, molds and fungi, pets. I pretty much tell people, if you have a sensitivity to something, just tell me what it is. I'm sure we'll have it in the system. But on the first visit, we'll go through about 300 of the most common categories that people have sensitivities to. They will go home with a list of those at the end of the treatment or the consultation, and then they always get their first treatment on that first consultation as well. And I have a lot of people that do experience some relief just from that first treatment. There's others where it takes a couple treatments to start noticing a difference, but I've definitely had people call me after their first treatment and say, oh my gosh, I feel so different. I feel so much better. So.
Wow, that is great. And you had sent me pictures of your dog. You had a dog with severe allergies.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see the changes in, you sent me a kind of before and after picture.
Absolutely.
And that was really amazing. I wish that when my dog was alive, that I had known you. Now, I don't know that you don't actually treat animals in your practice.
Not in my practice, but every now and then I will go to somebody's home if it's kind of a dire situation. Thought about maybe reaching out to a veterinarian to see if I can work with them and help provide some relief for their pets.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Great. So basically, a lot of the same methods that you use for humans, you could use for animals?
Absolutely. Animals have very similar acupressure points as humans do. So the system is based off of acupuncture. So we just we can use the system with cats, dogs, horses, any kind of pet you've got at home.
Can you give us a little bit of, understanding about acupuncture and acupressure that you had just mentioned? Because a lot of people don't understand how effective that is and what that.
Acupuncture can be a very effective therapy. The body has a lot of meridians, or Chinese meridians, that run the course of the body, and they're followed along different paths. So there's the heart path, the liver path, the spleen path. There's a whole bunch of different paths that it follows, and they kind of rule over a certain part of the body and certain aspects. In some of my research, I've read that they do believe it has something to do with penetrating through the fascia and kind of releasing some of that tension that's built in with the fascia. The fascia is just kind of almost like a shrink wrap that's wrapped around our tissues to kind of hold them in place. And so some research shows that when you cut into that fascia, typically with like a surgery or something like that, then it's disrupted, and it's not able to fully transmit that energy through the whole system. It's almost like broken that.
That's interesting.
Does
that happen when you also have an injury?
It could, if the fascia has been disrupted, for sure. It could definitely. So acupuncture is really good, especially in that case, because then we can help to renew that energy moval throughout the body by triggering some of the certain points throughout the system.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting.
Okay, well, let me see, was there anything else? I don't think so. Is there, we're going to wrap up this show. However, I do, I want to get you on. We're going to talk about some of those holistic treatments that we've been studying, researching, and trying out. So we're going to talk about that. I've also got some other guests that I'll be interviewing who have also been utilizing some of these things too. So at some point we're going to kind of have a roundtable type of discussions that I think will be really, really interesting and very informative for people. So before we wrap this up, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us, Amanda?
I don't think so. You did a pretty good job, but I wanted to thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, it is my pleasure. You're a great source of information, and you're going to do wonderful things. And do you want to? I'm going to have the link to your website on the credits here and in the link in the description, and as well as a way to contact you. Oh, and one more thing, are you able to work with people distance, or do they have to be in your physical location?
No, we can actually work with people from a distance. We have what is called a surrogate. They are in place of that person, and we just kind of take a moment to meditate and recognize that person as whoever it is that we're doing the treatment for. And we've seen some excellent results. So you do not have to be in the physical office to receive a treatment.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to future podcasts with you. And
I definitely look forward to it. We've got a lot of good topics to discuss.
We do. We do. So until next time, abundant blessings.